We're live!
We are
All right,
live. Presto. Hey, you froze, brother.
start off
Oh, there
the
you go.
year.
There you go.
Start off the year with a pledge of allegiance, right? 1, 2, 3.
Ready.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one
one nation,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible, with liberty and
and
justice for all. Woo! Got a new song to play tonight by Crowder.
Turned up. I like it.
What's that?
You got it turned up. I like it.
I don't have it turned up that loud, so.
Well, it's lower now than it was for whatever reason.
Crowder. It's called Grave Robber. The way that I was captured out of my sinful life and brought into the life of Jesus Christ. Here we go.
I got stolen by the grave robber. Pick me up from that rock bottom.
All right, I'm going to fade out the music. You can play yours if
Alrighty.
you want to. So I got picked up by the grave robber.
All right, Toto.
There you go.
All right, Toto.
Countdown! Yes, it is. Countdown to Rick and Jeff Unfiltered. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's 2024.
Rick and Jeff.
Unfiltered. Yes, we are unfiltered, ladies and gentlemen. And no, we do not. But
Yes,
my brother's
we
going to
are.
throw that in there.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you ready to ride? Ready to ride.
Beth Smay is watching. Hello, Beth. Welcome. Welcome
Hello,
to the
Beth.
zoo. The zoo of the Rick and Jeff Unfiltered.
There
Are you
we
ready
go.
to rock? All
Nice.
right. So where do you want
I
to
am ready to
start?
rock.
So I heard that. I
told you
saw
where I
my
wanna
brother.
start.
Yeah, I'll get to that rate. I'll walk right into that. So I
As soon as I tell
found
you.
this. Yeah, I found this song called "Grave Robber" by Crowder. I love the song.
Good song.
I played it for.
I like it.
Yeah, played it for my wife Kathy, and she loved the song. I gave it to my family group on the text message, so they love the song. But it's exactly how I was plucked from the grave by Jesus Christ. So I was running around and thinking life was great, and got home one night about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and started flipping through the channels because couldn't go to bed. I was so excited, thought life was grand, and I came across Jimmy Swaggart. And at the end of his show, I prayed to receive Jesus Christ, and he plucked me right out of the grave. Amazingly enough, he will use even a man like Jimmy Swaggart in his sinful nature to bring another sinful man out of his sin and into the life of Jesus Christ. So, yeah. So America strong. Pledge allegiance, Beth. Yes, we will pledge allegiance every time we do our show because we believe in America. We believe in America. Anywhere but China. Anywhere but China.
Anywhere
China.
but China. The first anywhere but China of the night.
Yeah. So
Speaking of America, my brother is going to be moving out of California. That's not it.
Yes.
Well, we hope
And that
he
was-
is. He's starting the process, and
Yep.
and we're hoping he gets out of California, trying to get to Idaho or Washington. One of the two.
yeah, got a 90-day probation. 95 day. Wow. A 90-day probationary period with a new job. I'm starting actually it looks like it's going to be next Thursday, which is the 18th of January. Is that what that is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the
Yeah,
18th of January.
17th.
18th. So Thursday's the
18th.
18th.
No, you're right. I did bad math.
So no, it's all right.
Yeah.
I just look at the calendar because I don't do the math apparently. So yeah, so I will be driving up to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and starting a new job, a probationary job, and the job is actually in East Spokane, Washington. So I'm excited. God has done some amazing things in the last. Well, it's January 9th now. The whole process started on January 2nd. And by January 7th.
Happy New Year, brother.
Yeah, yeah, happy New Year. By January 7th, it's pretty much decided that I will be taking a job and doing a 90-day probationary thing in
Going back to his old stomping grounds, his what he
yeah,
went to school for. He's going
yep,
back into his real working life, and
yeah.
yeah,
Hard work,
should,
hard work.
I'm hoping. I'm
Working
excited
with my
for
hands.
Jeff, and yep, and Jeff is excited. Every time I talk to him, I can tell he's excited. I'm excited for him. I'm really hoping it works out.
Yeah.
Anything to get out of California. Anywhere but
Oh,
California is almost as bad as anywhere but China. I mean, they're
you don't
pretty
have to.
close. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
you don't have to tell me that. That's pretty amazing. Yeah. So,
Yeah. So
so
anyway, so we're hoping it happens and hope it all works out. And Jeff will be in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's going to be cold up there, though, brother. It's going to be cold. God
thank you,
bless
Beth.
you and your new adventures.
Appreciate it.
Beth.
Yeah. Yep. So I will
Yep.
be driving
So
up. My wife is going to stay back in California. Kathy's going to stay in California and continue working at her job. And we'll try to figure out how to see each other during that 90 days. Either she'll come up and visit me, I'll come down and visit her, or both. And we'll just see how it goes. So it's an exciting adventure. I'm glad to be getting out of California. I was working with a customer here in California today, and she was asking me, so where are you going? What are you doing? Why are you leaving? And I said, well, California politics are a little strange for me. I said I'm a strong Second Amendment believer, and California's not a Second Amendment state. They do everything they can to try to take every weapon you have away from you. And so I was telling her
a
how
lot of your
God
rights,
is,
not even just
yeah,
more than the second.
yeah, yeah. So I was telling her how God has been working in our life, and opening up doors, and how I've been praying and asking God to either open a door or close the door or make it obvious. And He's pretty much opened every door, so I'm real excited about that. And at the end, she's like, "Well, can I ask you one question?" I'm like, "Sure, any question." She goes, "So, you mentioned the Second Amendment." I go, "Yeah." "Can I ask you a question about it?" "Sure." She goes, "Don't you think that we should take away assault weapons from people so they can't, go into these schools and kill all these kids? Because that's they got the assault weapons." I'm like, "It's not the assault weapons' fault, right?" I said, "It's
Right.
difficult to buy a gun in the state of California, or in, for that area, any other state in our country. It's difficult to purchase a gun. There is some form of a background check required, and there's some form of a waiting period required, right? So, and just because you might be able to get a background check, covered where they didn't do a thorough background check, you might be able to escape under the radar. I don't know, like Hunter Biden did, when he said that he's not doing any drugs, he's never been accused of doing drugs, or charged with doing drugs. But,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can lie
There's
on your
this.
application. You can lie on your application, to try to circumvent the law of getting a gun and get a gun. But again, just because you can get an assault weapon doesn't mean that you're going to go out and kill people, right? And she asked me, she goes, "Do you have an
And
assault
here's the
weapon?" I
thing.
go, "Absolutely, I have assault weapon." She goes, "What do you need that for?" I go, "Because I have a Second Amendment right
Because
to
I
have
want
it."
it.
Yeah, and
I
we had
wanted
a,
it and I bought it.
yeah, we had a great conversation, so it wasn't argumentative. And she said, "I realize
Right.
that I'm not going to change your mind, and you're not going to change my mind, and I appreciate you being nice." And I'm like, "Look, we as Americans, we have to be able to have a conversation like this. We have to be able to communicate with each other and say, you know what, I have a different opinion of you, right? And that's okay. You can have a
Right.
different opinion.
That's
That's
okay.
okay. Yeah,
It doesn't have to hurt
but
your feelings that I disagree with you. You
right.
know, it doesn't have to
Yeah,
hurt my feelings because
exactly.
you disagree with me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we
I
also
was going to
got
say
onto
this.
the
So
whole. Go ahead.
I was going to say this. So let's just say there was a magic wand. You could take all the people who claim these weapons. You could take them away. You know who would still have them? The
The
criminals
criminals.
still have them because they
Yeah.
don't claim them and
Yeah.
they know how to get them. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what do you think is going to happen when all the law-abiding citizens don't have any more guns, but the criminals do? What do you think is going to happen?
Right.
Just
Well,
a just a question.
they're
You know.
well, that's that.
So
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 that kind of goes along with a statement that this person made, which I thought was rather what's the word I'm looking for? Is an interesting statement. to say the least. You can decide what you want to think about it for yourself. But uh, you know, we're having a conversation about constitutional republic versus democracy and this, that, and the other thing. And I
Right.
said, look, I said, let me leave you with one other thing. I said, you can take this for whatever you want. I said, but do you know what stops a bad guy with a gun? And she said, a conscience. I'm like, no, a good guy with a
No,
gun.
no.
Because the bad guy
Yeah.
with a gun is not suddenly going to gain a conscience when he's out there killing
He
people.
has no conscience. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there's my wonderful wife, Kathy Bennett, watching. So
Hello, Kathy. How you
yeah.
doing?
So
Good to,
so
good to have
it
you.
was yeah, it was very interesting to me
Diana
though that
Perkins Hayes is on, and Rick Moore is on
all
too.
right.
Holy cow!
Wow, Rick
Hello, Rick.
Moore. Ready
Hello,
to
Diana.
go.
How
All
are you two
right.
doing?
Hello, Diane. Yeah.
Two,
Awesome.
two
So
Windsor, 1979 graduate. No, Rick Moore was 70, was 80, but yeah, he graduated
right.
from South Carolina.
We
My
are
best
doing
friend and I.
well, Kathy Bennett. We're doing well. Yes.
Doing well.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
it's kind of amazing to me how people
hello,
just
Diana.
it's like their thought process is kind of skewed, and you're like, what's it skewed to? I don't know, maybe the propaganda of the media, I mean, because their
Yeah.
first statement is like, well, don't you think we should get rid of the assault weapons? Like, assault weapons, do you even know what an assault weapon is? And I
There
should
you
have
go.
asked her that question. I should have asked her, well,
Yeah.
what's an assault weapon? What does that mean to you? Because that's another thing
Mm-hmm.
that when you question people on these statements that they make, they usually don't know what it is. Well, it's a bad
Well,
gun. Okay, so
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna, I'm gonna play just a little bit of devil's advocate.
go ahead.
Not a lot because I don't agree with this, but I kind of understand why people say if you get rid of this rifle, then you can take this specific situation and
Right,
you can at least minimize it. Okay, I understand that. The problem is that's a small picture.
right,
Okay, that's a very small picture. And the big picture is what I just said before. If you take away all the guns of the law-abiding citizens, the Marco DeSantis is on. Hello, Marco.
there you go.
And he's one of Ricky's friends and my friend too. But I met him through Ricky. And but anyways, yeah. Then once all the law-abiding citizens don't have guns, then the criminals are just going to go crazy. I mean, you look
Yeah,
at it right now. Right now, they don't have to. There's no repercussions for them going in and stealing stuff out of stores, so they do. If there's no repercussions to walking into somebody's house and shooting people to get their stuff, or just threatening with a gun because they know they don't
right,
have them, what do you think they're going to do? It's
right.
just what criminals do. So, anyway,
Yeah, and
guns
and,
don't
and it's
kill bad people. Yes.
no, they don't. Yeah. So, well, the
Yeah.
guns may kill bad people, if they're used by good people. So, because I mean,
Good
the
people.
ultimate
Yeah.
answer to the question is, how do you stop a bad guy with a gun? It's a good guy with a gun. That's usually the only way
Yeah.
they stop. Like the
And
mass killing that happened in Tennessee a while back, which was the girl who's pretending to be a guy that's
yes.
on the drugs and
Yeah.
medications, and she went in. What stopped that girl? A police officer shot her in the back of the head. That's what stopped that girl from
Yeah.
shooting. A good guy with a gun
That's a
stopped
little
a
excessive
bad guy.
force, wasn't it?
I
That's
think
a little
he
excessive
I think
force.
he may have double tapped her for all I know, and I think he should have, so
I always say
eh,
this. So there was that one video of the girl who was chasing the other girl with a knife. A cop rolls up and she's going after this girl with a knife and he shoots her like 3 times. Someone made the comment, did he really have to shoot her 3 times? And my immediate answer was, as many as it takes.
yeah,
As many as it takes. In that.
exactly. Because here's the other thing, right? And I think I've shared this story on our channel before, and I won't get into specifics, but a person I know, their son was doing drugs, and he had a Smith and Wesson 40 caliber M&P Shield, right? I happen to have a Smith and Wesson 40 caliber M&P Shield, so I know exactly the same gun he had, and he had a two friends, a girl and a guy who were dating each other, and they were all into drugs, and they took the gun from him because he's acting kind of strange one time. Well, he kind of calmed down, and they a couple days went by or whatever. They gave the gun back, but ultimately he shot that girl point blank range in the face with a 40 caliber Smith and Wesson M&P Shield, and it went through her eye and out the back of her skull. And then he shot the boyfriend 3 times point blank in the chest and took off. Right. Well, the girl wrapped a towel around her head and jumped out a second-story window. And the guy that was like, found her, because she's trying to get away, called the police. The police arrive at the door. They knock on the door. The boyfriend answers the door with 3 bullets in his chest. Right. So when you talk about 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, was it in the right place? Right? It's like if you're talking about a 40 caliber gun that was point blank range, shot into 2 different people, and they both walked away. Now, I'm not saying they didn't have medical issues, not having problems, right? Because that's a terrible
They both
thing, and I don't
lived.
condone it. But they both lived, right? When you're in a scenario like one person is chasing another person with a knife, whatever it takes, however many shots it
Right.
takes to make that person fall down and drop
Right.
the knife, right? And this
Yeah.
is the thing that people don't understand. When your adrenaline is flowing, you could get shot 15 times with a gun and not even respond, right? And you could
Right.
still be motoring along and doing your bad, things that are going on. So there's things that
Yeah.
people need to really consider and understand that, this is the way it is. And
Right.
when it comes to law enforcement, they're going to do everything that they can to stop the process, right?
And that's
My
what
brother
that's
and
what
I
they
were,
need to do, because otherwise more of them end up dead than already do. If
yeah.
they try to shoot him in the leg or something like that. Yeah. It's just gonna end up to more cop fatalities. And there are a lot of people out there that don't care about that, but
Right.
they can Johnny Cash right there. They can do that.
Oh,
And
well,
because I do care about that. So,
do you remember the bank robbery that happened in California? It was probably about 15 years ago, maybe
oh,
20 years ago
the
now.
guys that had the bulletproof stuff on and they just
Yeah.
kept firing,
Full,
firing at them.
full body armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the police officers were
On
trained
their
to do
head,
center
face,
mass.
everything.
Yeah. The police officers were trained to shoot center mass, right? And that's where they were shooting. None of
Mhm.
these guys didn't even get phased, right? One of the guys actually took his own life, right? Shot himself in the head live
Yeah,
on
put the gun
television.
up, put it
Yeah.
put it up under his chin and shot himself where he didn't have
And
bulletproof stuff.
the other
Yeah.
one was hiding behind a car, and a police officer got shot at, fell on the ground, and noticed that his feet weren't covered with bulletproof vests, so he shot him in the ankle. Guy dropped to the ground, and they let him bleed to death, right? Because
There you go.
it's like, how many people were they shooting at, and property was destroyed, and
Oh,
bullets
they
whizzing
stole a
all over
bunch
the
of cars,
place.
remember?
Yeah,
They stole a
yeah.
couple of cars.
Yeah,
Trying to
carjack
get
people
away.
live on television. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, bad people are out there. Um, I don't think that everyone
Oh,
needs to
and by the
know how to have
way,
a gun or carry a gun.
back
But
then, if you took away all the all the assault rifle, whatever you want to call it, back then, they still would have had theirs, but
yeah,
they would not
yep,
have turned them in.
right. They wouldn't have, and I
So,
don't even remember what they had. They may had like I don't remember what they had, to be honest with you, because I know they had handguns
I think
too.
they had
That's the other
rifles
thing.
to start, and they had handguns
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah. So the whole gun argument for me goes back to the Constitution of the United States, and the other thing I thought about, like you want to ban guns, and I've told my brother this, and my brother does not agree with me. So it's not like I think I'm right or wrong or anything like that, but my brother's like, well, where's your line? Where's your line of what you should have? I
Yeah.
said, I
We're
don't know.
it's like we're yeah.
Think I should be able to have a tank with a rocket launcher and a anti-aircraft weaponry and a F-15, whatever I can put in my backyard. That's what I think I should be able to have. So my limit or my line is not there, right? My brother's line is obviously there, and it doesn't really matter either way. But the reality is, the whole reason we have the Second Amendment is because they just came off of fighting a war against Britain to fight for independence.
Right.
They were fighting. Think about this. They were waging
So
war against their government that was tyrannous to their people, right? That's how
right.
our nation started.
Right.
I mean, think about that for a minute. They
So
were
just
waging
just
war against their their current government because they were tyrannous government against the people.
So just look at
All
what
right.
happened over in Israel with those guys coming over. Imagine
Yeah.
if that was someplace like Texas or Tennessee or Florida. A lot of those guys are going to die because people are going to pull out their guns and they're going to shoot back. They're not going to run and hide.
Yeah.
They're going to pull out their guns
Yep.
and they're shoot back. That right there is the reason why the Second Amendment is for that. That's one of the reasons why it's like for situations just like that. Imagine if,
Right.
let's say, China decided to come and invade. They could never keep this country because there's too many guns in this country.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
would kick them out eventually. There'd be a lot of lives lost. Don't get me wrong, but they
Right.
would never be able to stay in this country because they would lose too many people because of
Well,
all the
here's
civilians.
so I am very pro-Israel. My brother will tell you that. I've probably said it on this channel many times. I'm
Oh,
very
wait.
pro-Israel.
Marco says, "How about that Giants Philly game, though?" Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
kind of like
And Beth May
Yeah.
says,
So, I saw.
I'm assuming she's
Go
saying
ahead.
guns kill. Government needs to work as hard to get them off the streets as they are working at guns out of hands of law-abiding citizens. Yeah. Well, you know what? If they worked as
Yeah.
hard as get them the guns off the illegal guns off the street, then I might consider something like that. But
But
since they're not really working at that,
well,
and they're letting these thugs rob
well,
stores day
here's
and
the
night,
thing. To get the guns away from the criminals, there's going to be street wars. Okay.
yeah,
Nobody has enough balls to do that. Okay. There's not a single person in our government that has enough balls to say, okay, we're going to go into New York City and we're going to take all the guns. They know where they're at. They know where all these gangs are and
well,
everything.
Rudy
They just don't
Giuliani
find
had
them.
those kind of balls, so he did the stop
No, he
and
didn't.
frisk, and they did stop and
Well,
frisk,
yeah,
and
he had that.
he
He
reduced
did,
crime
did that.
significantly.
So that,
So
yes, but he could have done more. I'm saying what I'm talking about is go in their houses and take their guns away from them, like they're trying to do to us. Only they have them illegally. Where we
Right.
have them legally, you don't have a right to come into my house and take my gun.
right.
Okay, but those guys, you do have a right to go in their house and take the guns because they're illegal.
Well, technically, you're right, but we still have the Constitution that protects the illegal search and seizure. So they'd have to work at getting those abilities to get the guns away from them. They'd have to do it
Right.
legally and legitimately. So it's not like they say, "Hey,
Right.
these 4 people over here, we know are known criminals, so we're just gonna bust their door down and take their guns from them." So even though
No,
they're
but
criminals,
I'm sure they know. I'm sure they've got some kind of evidence. They know where those guns are at, where they could start. Okay, we know this guy's got guns. Let's go get him. Okay, speak to us. Where are the rest of the guns? And we'll cut you a little
yeah,
deal. Okay. So now we get a warrant for that place. But no one has
yeah, and
because
I
what
think
I'm saying is it wouldn't be as easy as I'm making it sound because those people
Right.
are going to fight back.
right.
Okay? You're going to have military style raids to get the guns away from those people. Okay, all they got to do for us is sign a piece of paper. Give me your gun. That's what they think.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
But those people are going to fight you tooth and nail. Well, we're probably going to fight you tooth and nail too. I digress there. I don't want to get taken off.
Yeah. I mean, again, our country founded by the citizens rebelling against their government, right?
James
And
Nickerson is watching. Hello, Uncle Jim.
hello, James Nickerson, Uncle
Deborah
Jimmy,
Croft
how's it going?
Kilmer is watching.
All
Okay, we
right.
got a whole bunch of people on here tonight.
Yeah.
Hello.
I don't have anyone new on my side of the chat, but yeah. So we may have. I don't think we can ever beat the Second Amendment to death because I think that we need to make sure that we have it. I have a shirt I bought for myself. I bought one
Only
for my
because
brother. It says, "Go ahead."
Yeah, I protect my First Amendment with my Second Amendment. Yeah, we
Yeah,
both.
exactly.
But I was
Yeah.
going to say the only reason we can't beat the Second Amendment to death is because if we don't keep mentioning it, these
Right.
other people who are trying to take it away will just slip it in there little by little. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said, "Look, they're trying to take your assault weapons away, but that's not their goal. That's to get their foot in the door. Okay,
Right.
Once they get their foot in the door, then they're going to go after other things. Because if you look at statistics, handguns kill way more people, not even close,
Right.
than assault rifles do in this country.
Yeah.
Assault rifles have the most publicity, but handguns kill
Right.
way more people than assault rifles.
Right. Yeah. Well, they talk about the AR-15. Well, what does AR mean? Armament. It's the manufacturer of the weapon. It's not the same as an M16 that the military has. It's a very similar capability as far as a round. It doesn't have automatic capability. So people, well, you can do it. Yeah, if I changed my AR-15 into an automatic weapon, I would be breaking the law. And if I got found out, which I have not done, just to be clear, I've not done that. I don't have any intentions of doing that. I would go to jail because I broke the law, right?
Right.
And you shouldn't be messing around with that type of stuff just because you can, right? But there are certain things,
Right.
like if suddenly we go to civil war, you can almost guarantee that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to own M16s, civilians,
Right.
which are going to be fully automatic, right? But
Right.
we would never have to worry about our government. Really? Do you remember what happened during
I'm telling you,
COVID-19?
we're this close. We're a firecracker that has a fuse about this long right now. And I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
gonna happen, but it wouldn't take a whole lot to make it happen. And I hope to God it doesn't happen, but it would not surprise me at all if it does. It's the way this country is with the left
It's
beating the right and the right beating the left.
Yeah.
We need to settle down. We need to settle
Right.
down.
And we need to be
You
able to
know,
have a conversation, right? You don't have to agree with me, but
exactly.
it's not like, oh, I'm pissed off at
Exactly.
you. I'm just going to beat you up, or I'm going to call my friends and have
Right.
them,
That's what it seems
raid
like
your
everything
house,
is now.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, so you believe that there was a stolen election? Well, therefore you should be arrested. Really? So what about when what was the woman who was running for governor in Georgia? What was her name?
Oh,
For
I can picture her face. I
I
think
can't
of her
remember
name.
her name. Yeah. Anyway,
I know who you mean.
for 2
Yeah.
years she
She
said the
still
election
said
was
she won
stolen from her.
that
Yeah.
election. Oh, she still
Yeah.
says it.
Yeah. So it's like
For a
satiate
while,
her.
she settled
Satiate her.
down because she wanted to run again.
Yeah.
For a while, she
Yeah. So
settled down because she wanted to run again. She didn't want them to use that against her. But as soon as she
yeah.
lost the second time, she started saying it again.
Yeah.
She lost on the,
Hi-
it was fixed.
Hillary
Whatever.
Clinton said the 2016 election was stolen from her. It was Russian, collusion. It's like, but
Mhm.
then Donald
Turns
Trump
out the
says
only
he thinks
Russian collusion was from Hillary.
it's like, really, it's like you can't even make that up,
She wasn't lying. There was Russian collusion, but it was
Yeah.
her that did it, not him.
Yeah. Yeah. She was the one promoting Russian collusion. So yeah, I mean, we
Mhm.
live in an amazing country. I mean, the fact that I'm going to get to move to Idaho, by the grace of God, and is amazing to me. It's a great nation that we live in, and we have to learn how to communicate with each other. We can't just mow people over because I have a different opinion. You know, so like the woman I
Right.
was talking to
Yeah.
today, she's like, "Can I ask you a question?"
That
I'm
was
like,
one of the
"Sure."
reasons we started this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
Yeah.
one of the reasons we started this thing.
Yeah,
Because
my brother and I used to argue all the time about stuff.
before the Democrats went off the rail to the left,
Shut down the
him and I
government
used to
and
argue a lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
mandated
but
vaccines and masks
I can't
and
even stick up for them anymore. They're just terrible. Remember,
yeah.
I posted some things about Joe Biden today, and it's just he's just a nut job.
Well,
He
you
really
know
is.
what that
Well, here goes
means,
my thing
right?
about Joe Biden.
There you go. Here we
He has
go. That's what I wanted
Alzheimer's.
to hear.
His wife needs to be charged with elder abuse, and anybody who's helping him stay where he's at needs to be charged with elder abuse. And I'm
Yeah.
going to keep saying it until something happens. And everyone knows my position. I'd rather have him than Cruella, but it's not right. Keep him in there. But they like him
Right.
in there because he'll do whatever they say,
Yeah,
and
he
they
is
don't
definitely
care.
being
So
controlled.
yeah. So, anyways, they need to get
He's
him
a
out.
great puppet.
That's my
He's a
speech
great
tonight.
puppet, but yeah,
He is.
it's like and my brother and I, our mom recently passed away, last year, and she had Alzheimer's, and
Mhm.
we watched her mental capacity degrade, and we're like, look, this is exactly what we're seeing on Joe Biden. What we're seeing in our mom
Exactly
is
what we're seeing
exactly
in Joe
what's going on with Joe Biden, and it's bad. It's terrible. It's like this guy's
Biden.
running
And
our
so
country, and
I,
he's worse than our mother was. Anyway,
I've told many people this. If you had a 5-minute conversation with our mother, you would never know anything was wrong. If you have a 10-minute conversation with her, you're going to know something's wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. They prop him up, and they don't let him ask any questions because they know he will fumble and he will mess up.
Well, he can't even get a
Give him a
5-minute
speech, he can read the
conversation out
speech.
without messing it up now, So his
No, what I'm
brain
saying
is
is
shut
they just
down, and
well, no, he has cards. They have his cards. He reads the
I know,
cards.
but
If he
he
gets off
can't even
script,
do
he's done.
that.
He's
He
done.
can't even do that now. It's like
Well,
he can't
he
even
gave a
read the
pretty
cards right.
he gave a pretty good speech the other night. And I'm not saying it was good as that. I agree with what he was saying. It's
Oh,
good
that
he
was
didn't
the
mess anything up.
re-election
He made it
campaign
real.
speech he gave. The
Yeah,
re-election
the
campaign
one where
speech he gave?
he wants to be reelected, and he didn't say one single word about what his policies were. Everything was Donald Trump is bad. Everything.
Well, it's
That
because
for
his
that
policies
part, it was a
suck.
terrible speech. They
I mean,
do,
think about it.
but
His
for that
policy:
part, it was
open
terrible.
border, give them money, give them a free phone, tell them to come back
Cut
in
the
7
military.
years. Cut the military.
Mhm.
I mean, look, the was it, the Secretary of Defense just was in the ICU for 3 days, and they didn't even notify anybody. He didn't even notify the President of the United States. It's like, what on earth is going on with the administration in our country that this guy's like the 6th in command from the president, right? So it's not like he's somewhere
Yeah.
way down the line of chain of command. He's 6th. One,
Right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in command. And he's in the ICU, and nobody notifies the president of the United States that he's incapable of doing his duties, right? There's this is
Right.
this is insane. So but if you think about it, they're not doing that with the president, so why would they do it with the Secretary of Defense? Right? Because who
Right.
cares if the Secretary of Defense is incapacitated? Because our president's incapacitated and the whole world knows. No, they're incapacitated and the whole world knows it.
So
So
here's something that I posted the other day. Going easier on China. Okay, so here's the thing: when they cross the border, they used to ask them 14 questions. Now they ask them 5.
yeah,
Okay, what could go wrong?
none of them are you from China?
This guy's a fool.
Right.
This guy's a fool. I don't even know what the 5 questions are. It doesn't say. It just says they
Hey,
used to ask him. I think it was 14, and now they ask him 5. It's ridiculous what this guy's
someone
doing.
out there listening
It's
to our
truly
show, post something on our podcast. I want to see if we get a response. So if anything, because it seems like our postings have dwindled, so we haven't had a post in a while. So anyway, yeah, my brother's right. It's like, so it's too difficult to manage the. Yeah, that's you. I probably
Yeah,
get some-
I just
it's too difficult to
I did it on
manage
my
the border.
iPad though, not on the
Oh, okay. All
yeah.
right, there you go. Yeah, well, there's my wonderful wife, Kathy.
Kathy,
Bennett.
thank
Thank
you.
you, sweetie. Thank you, sweetie.
Yes. So
So, but it's like, and here's the other thing that most people aren't paying attention to, or maybe they are and they just don't know what to do, or they don't care. But the majority of people that are coming across the southern border are military-aged men. They're coming by themselves. Why do we have
and
such an
and by
influx of single military-aged men coming into our country from
and by the way, if you're only watching
China?
CNN, MSNBC, and those, you don't even know there's a border crisis. Okay?
Right.
This
Right.
is why I say you have to watch Fox and these. You can't just watch one or the other. Watch them both. You'll find out. You can make up your mind what kind of news you think is true and not, but at least you'll hear it. You'll hear both
Right.
sides. You're not just going to hear CNN and all the garble that they got. Trump bad all the time. You're going to hear
Well,
other stuff.
I
Okay.
I did hear. Go ahead.
And of course, and on Fox, you're never going to hear about Trump's court cases, except for like a blurb here and there. They don't cover that at all. But that's my point. My point is, you watch them both, and you put them together, and you figure out for yourself. You don't let them tell you what you should think either, because
Right.
that's BS. Okay.
Well, one of
anyway.
the other things that I think is interesting is, and I don't know, you probably heard this recently, but multiple times in the recent past, I've heard this thing that, back in 2013 or 2014 or whenever it was, Barack Obama repealed the law that was written back in the, you know, early 1900s that allows the media to now give propaganda to the U.S. It used to be prior to him repealing the law, any propaganda was against the law. So if it wasn't truth and factual, they weren't allowed to say it, right?
I never
Now
heard
they
that.
can say it. They can give whatever propaganda they want. And you can look it up. You can see videos of how all the news media stations, local and nationwide stations, are all saying the exact same thing, right? For the protection of our
Mm-hmm.
democracy, or something like that. And you're like, and,
Yeah.
and it's like verbatim, it's like, where are they getting their marching orders, right? Because they're all saying the
Right.
exact same thing. It's not like a
Right.
variation, it's the exact same thing. It's like, but if you
Right.
don't listen to anything else, you'll never know that, your local NBC News channel say the same thing as your local ABC News channel, which is the same thing as the local ABC and NBC News channel in
They
Midwestern USA
they
and all
will
this
they
other
will
stuff.
tell you that Trump's in trouble. That Trump's in trouble. They got all this evidence against him. And then if you go on Fox, they're going to say, "Well, this evidence they got really isn't evidence." And they debunk most,
Right,
not all,
right.
well, most.
Well,
But anyways, that's the thing. So you
another
don't have to.
another thing along. Go ahead.
So I wanted to get into the ninth COVID.
Oh, the I think it was the eighth that said the eighth COVID shot. So
The
so
eighth?
while I
Oh,
was
I'm sorry, my
yeah,
bad. Could have been the
well, I was,
108th for all I know.
yeah. So while
So
I was talking to
my
my brother
brothers told me they
earlier,
came out with the eighth COVID shot,
yeah, the eighth.
and I'm like,
What is
that's
the?
what.
So it's the what's the mRNA? Who's the two companies that do the COVID vaccines? Pfizer and who's the other one?
Pfizer and
Moderna.
Moderna.
Moderna, I think it is. Yeah. So anyway, I
Yeah,
think
Moderna.
Moderna is
Pfizer,
coming out
Moderna.
with the eighth vaccine booster shot, the eighth one, not the first, not the second, not the third, not the fourth, the eighth, eight, eight, three, eight, three, five, eight, eight of them, right?
So
It's like,
so
wait,
here's the
what?
thing: our government spent billions of dollars to make these vaccines happen, and now the pharmacies didn't pay them
God.
back, are making billions of dollars on top of the money that they've already got from the government. They're making
Right.
billions of dollars, and they just want to keep this going. If
Yeah.
we can make 9, 10, 11, 15, 100 years down the road, we're still making COVID shots. They're going to
It's
make
a
a shit ton of
cash
money.
cow. It's a cash cow. Yeah. Read Diana
Diane
Perkins'
Perkins, I
case.
know people who have gotten every COVID shot crazy. Yes, it is. And
Yeah.
I
Yep.
I actually got the first two. And actually I had COVID, so I had to wait 90 days before I got it. Then I got the first two, and I've had COVID twice since. So I figure
Yeah.
I'm more immune than pretty much anybody,
Yeah.
because I've had
So,
COVID 3 times. So you're not going to get more immune than that. So when they come
yeah.
out with a new one, I just Johnny Cash them and move along. I go to CVS. You want your COVID shot? I go, nope.
Yeah. Well, Kathy, my wonderful wife says she keeps getting messages from the pharmacy to come get a combo flu COVID shot. No thanks. Yeah.
Yes.
So now you
No.
can't just get a flu shot anymore. You have to get a flu
No, you
COVID
can.
combination vaccine.
No, you can get just the flu. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure you can.
Yeah.
They try to get you to do both.
Yeah, they're not getting any of those
But
for me. So.
I was gonna try to find that out. So I actually get the flu shot most every year. I haven't gotten it this year, but I usually get it. And I was gonna go down, and when they asked me, no, I just want the flu. Well, if they said we only have the combo, I was just gonna go. Gotta go.
He's telling them that they're number one. They're number one. You're number one in my
Yeah,
book. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
number one in
I
my book.
I really appreciate the offer, but I'll pass for now. So yeah. So
Jimmy Hilfinger is watching, and Bob Pendergrass is watching. Larry Updike is watching.
wow,
Hello,
you got a
all
lot of
people.
people. Hello, all man.
I
Well,
got
we should talk
I
about
got people
something else.
Oh, hey,
What
I
do
know what let's talk about.
Let's do it.
So
I know
I
you're doing.
flew up to New York for Christmas,
Woohoo!
And I'm flying into LaGuardia. I'm going to go see my son in Binghamton. So I rent a car
Oh, there
and
we
I'm
go.
ready
I
to
love
go.
it.
Uh, so my wife is working in the Bronx. She's a travel nurse and she's working in the
Well,
Bronx. So I'm going to go see my
you
son first, then come
you
back
you
down and
named
hang out with
you
my wife
named
for a
your
while.
car. You named your car though, right? What'd you name your car?
Wait, yeah, I'm getting there. So the night before I
All
leave,
right.
I get an email. Here's what you
Like,
should know about your EV experience. I'm like, what? What? I look at it, I'm like, holy, I didn't want, I'm like, I called him right up. Hey, I don't want an EV. I don't want one. I go, I don't know how this happened. I didn't even think you guys would rent me an EV. I never looked at it.
right.
I don't want one. Well, let me see what we can do. You know, they're let me see what we can do.
Yeah,
Well, we
they're
can get you
actually
a
just
gas powered car, and I'm renting it for 4 days. We can get you a gas powered car at $110 extra a day.
a day. Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? When I get there and I go to rent it, I'm going to talk to the guy there and see what they do. So I get there and I'm telling the guy the story. Look, man, I don't want an EV. Why would you guys even think about renting me an EV? I got to go to Binghamton, New York. I look at my thing; it's 186 miles away. Excuse me.
Bless you.
And he goes, well, I think he goes, well, let me look. First, he's like, well, let's fix it. Let me look. Okay, we got a gas park. We don't. There's only one left because everybody's renting them out this weekend because it's Christmas weekend, and it's $110 extra a day. I go, you know what? I'll make it work. Just give me the freaking thing. If it'll get me to Binghamton without me having to charge it, just give it. We go,
Did it
look, it
get you
says
to
200
Binghamton without
miles.
having to charge it?
It did get me to Binghamton without, and I was actually pleased with it at that point. I'm like, okay. And I get to the hotel and I plug it in. They got to plug in at the hotel and it's free. I'm thinking, this is good. I'm liking it. You know, whatever. So I
Yep.
unplug it the next morning. It's fully charged. I drive it around for a couple of days. On the night before I leave to come back to New York, I go to plug it in. Someone's already in the spot. So I have to find a charging station between Binghamton and New York, and I find one in Liberty. Might have been Middletown. Found
Middletown,
one
I
in
think is what you're
Middletown,
saying, yeah.
and I said, okay, I'll get up. I'll see if I can plug it in for half hour, an hour, because I think I had like it was going to be 60 miles to Liberty from there, or was it 90 miles to Liberty? And I had 100 and something on it, so I plugged it in for a little bit more, got it up to 120 miles, got it to Liberty, had 33 miles left when I got to Liberty to charge the station, plugged it in, and I'm thinking, okay, let me go get something to eat, and I'll come back. I go and get something to eat. I come back. It's now at 40% or 40 miles. To get it to
So
99
it went from
miles,
38 miles to 40 miles.
it went from 33 to 41, I
Oh,
think it
oh, there
was,
you go.
in like 45 minutes. Okay, so to get it to charge to 99 miles, I had 85 to go. Get it to charge to 99 miles, 4.5 hours. I had to sit there with it. I was so pissed. So now I'm late getting it in, and I'm figuring they're going to charge me an extra day or hours, whatever. I get out of the car, and I'm not happy at all. I'm like, this is bullshit. I don't. If I never drive an electric car again, it'll be too soon. Oh yeah, and we did name it Eve. We named it Eve.
Yeah.
I said, hey, let's go
Eve.
get Eve. We're gonna drive Eve around. You know, that kind of thing. It was funny. But anyway, I was so pissed. I get there, I get out of the car. The guy says, "How was your car rental experience?" I go, "It sucks. This thing." I go. I had to sit in Middletown for 4.5 fucking hours to get this thing charged. That's what I said to him too. Charge this thing so I could get here. And now I'm late, and you're going to charge me extra money. Give me my bags. I'm out of here. I was like, whoa, okay, whatever. And it turns out they didn't charge me extra money. I guess I did okay there. But I will never, ever want to drive an EV again in something like that. Not even. You know, maybe someday they make them better. Right now, it's just crazy to have it. And along the EV line, Jeff, how about them F-150 EVs, huh?
Yeah, so I was telling my brother there's a story I heard about today where
I saw this
there's
after you talked to me too, by the way.
yeah, There's a factory in Michigan that 80,000 was it 8,000 employees walked out, right? And then they shut the factory down because they have tens of thousands. They're making the electric Ford F-150. They have tens of thousands of them sitting in parking lots because nobody's buying. There's literally nobody
Nobody's
buying.
buying them.
Nobody wants them. They
So,
don't want
so
them.
they shut the plant down that was making them because
Yeah.
nobody's buying them.
Yeah. And then they actually started building more gas powered F-150s because
Right.
people are actually buying those. And my brother's like,
Yeah.
it's supply and demand. I'm like, yeah, it should have always been
That's
supply
what
and
it is.
demand.
Supply and demand. That's the way
You
it should
know?
be. Our government is
Yeah.
trying to make you buy something, and when your government tries to make you do something, you got to question it. You got to.
Yeah. Yep.
And now I know personally why I should never own an EV. Okay, and
Yeah.
I
Personal
like I said,
experience.
I saw that story where he said that there are 92,000 electric vehicles sitting
Yeah.
on lots that people don't want to buy. 92,000 in the
Yeah.
U.S. sitting
Yeah.
on lots that people don't want to buy, and that's Ford, GM, Toyota. That's all of them. Nobody
Right.
wants them. When I bought that car, when Mom was here, got that car to help get Mom around. First thing the guy says, "Hey, you want an EV?" I said, "Why the hell would I want an EV?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's what
Exactly.
okay, let's go
Yeah.
on." But it's like he had to ask me.
Yeah.
It's like
There
that's
must be
their
a
job.
questionnaire he has
What's
to
the
answer
EV?
every day. Questionnaire he has to answer every day. Did you
Yeah,
ask all your customers if they want EVs? Oh, I forgot. You're fired.
yeah,
Who knows?
yeah,
So yeah. So couple things.
yeah.
Michelle Cuevas is watching. Welcome, Michelle. Thanks for
Oh,
watching.
no,
My wife Kathy made a comment. She said more and more people in Orange County, California, are voluntarily wearing masks. They keep telling us we're having more and more COVID cases at work. So my wife, where she works, I won't mention where she works. I mentioned it before. You can look it up.
yeah.
But so they're getting more and more COVID cases at where she works, right? And we're seeing a lot more
So,
people wearing masks. And we saw a thing on the news last week that said LA County is now mandating masks for every medical facility. I was like, well,
so
not
here's
going to
here's a
LA
here's a,
County
here's a
for
couple
medical.
little factoids. Couple little factoids. Okay.
Let's hear it.
The first fact. This is a factoid. Then I'm going to give you an opinion. First factoid is
You have an
COVID right
opinion?
now. Yes, they do. Wait, let me.
COVID right now.
COVID right now is no worse than the common flu.
Right.
So, but they want to yell COVID because they want us to panic and they want to be able to mail out ballots to everyone again like they did last election. That's my opinion part right there. That's my
Right.
But the COVID being no worse than the flu is a fact. Okay, you
Right.
can look it up. You can look that up. It's
Well-
right there. If
Well,
you look at the flu
here's
and the COVID, they're I think COVID's actually better than the flu. To tell you the truth.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing about what my brother said is, they're going to try everything that they can do to make sure that Donald Trump doesn't get reelected in 2020.
Right.
Right. So, but I mean, if you think about it, they're trying to push an agenda, an idea that they can say, "Oh, COVID, we need to shut the government down." I think the majority of Americans would be like, "In your dreams, you're going to shut the government down." And I've heard a lot of people talk
Right.
about having a civil war in the U.S. Right, and the reality is that
That right there could cause it right there. That could
Yeah.
cause it because
well,
go
so
ahead.
so here's what this guy said, which I kind of agree with. The reality is they don't want a civil war because they know they would lose, right? Because the people
Right.
that are conservative are the ones that have the guns, right? They can't get the guns from the
Mhm.
conservatives. They can't ban them. They can't take them
Right.
away unless there's some type of martial law. If they do that, they're going to have an instant civil war. So the idea is that they want to push it as close as they can before that triggers some type of civil war, and
Right.
they're attempting to do whatever they want. But I think they realize that trying to shut our government down the way that they shut it down 2 years ago would be near impossible. They would literally have rebellion.
Let me just add to that and explain to you how many more people are willing to fight this time than they were last time. And I'm going to take myself for an example. First time it happened, my brother will tell you. I was like, just wear your freaking mask. Okay, just let them shut it down for 15 days. It's no big deal. Okay. Then we start finding out the truth. They found out who COVID was affecting, and they found out there are some treatments for it. Well, they hid the treatments, didn't tell you absolutely who was it affecting, and kept us shut down in Jeff's case for 2 freaking years in California.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
my opinion is this: the first time it happened, I was willing to let them have their way, give them some power because they're going to give it back to us. They didn't give it back to us. Okay.
Right.
In nearly quick enough time as they should. As soon as there was a treatment for it, as soon as they found out who it was affecting more than other people, they should have opened everything up. Okay.
Yep.
And then tell you the information. You do with that information what you want. Okay.
Right.
Now, this happens again. I'm ready to fight not to wear a mask. I'm ready to fight not to close, not to anything close. And I don't mean get my guns out. I mean, you tell me to wear a mask right there. I'm going to come in. I'm going to pay for this stuff. You don't want to take my money? I'll take it right there. That's how I'm going to fight.
You don't care about the. Go ahead.
But there are people who will fight with guns if this happens again. That's my feeling. That's an opinion. Okay.
Right.
I don't know for sure, but that's what I think. Anyway.
Right.
But,
so I forgot where I was going, but I thought of this. And I think I told you this the other day. So there's another guy I saw a theory of, and these are all theories. There's all speculation. Everyone's trying to figure out what's going to happen. Tucker Carlson says there's 450 different things that could happen in 2024 in the 2024 election. So whether or not Joe Biden will be the presidential candidate or not, who knows? Nobody knows, right? Everyone says, "Oh, he's the candidate. You can't change it. Do whatever." There's so many things that could happen that would just be, bizarre, right? They could declare martial law. They could do whatever they want.
Wait. The doctor says Joe has Alzheimer's. He can't run. Who's going to take his place?
Right. Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of reasons, but this theory I thought was very interesting, right? I don't agree with it because I don't think it'll happen, but the theory is that Democrats want Nikki Haley to be Donald Trump's vice president. And the idea is that if Nikki Haley becomes the vice president under Donald Trump, and they allow Donald Trump to be reelected, right? Because they don't want him to be reelected, but they're getting to the point where it's like there's nothing they can do about it at this point in time. But if they can put Nikki Haley in there as VP, and then sometime after Donald Trump's election, you're going to have a major terrorist attack on the U.S., right? I mean, think about all the hundreds of thousands, millions of people that have come across the southern border. They have no idea where these people are coming from, right? Mm-hmm. And so you're going to have a major terrorist attack. Donald Trump will declare martial law. He will start evicting all the people that have been here illegally. The media will go after their families and give the sob story of how these people are terrible and they're bad. And, Donald Trump is bad. And, he's becoming a dictator. So we need to impeach him, and they'll impeach him and they'll get him ousted. And then they'll plant Nikki Haley in as the president. And then there will never be another non-Democrat president ever again after that point in time. Because they will have finished their agenda and be in total control of who's going to be elected to office from that point in time.
I actually can see that scenario happening. I don't think it will, but I can see it happening up until you said there'll never be another Republican president after that. Because people are, like I said, people are coming around. They're tired.
Right.
You mess with moms and dads. When you start messing with the kids in this country, the people are telling you, no, you're not going to do that.
Right. Well, I don't think Nikki Haley will ever be vice president of Donald Trump. I don't think that will ever happen.
I don't think so.
Whatever dream they think is going to happen. There's some speculation he's going to pick Tucker Carlson. But there's a plethora of people he could pick. He could pick Jim Jordan. He could pick he could pick Ron DeSantis if he wanted to. I don't think Ron DeSantis would ever be it. He'll never pick Chris Christie or he'll never pick Vivek Ramaswamy, and he'll never pick Nikki Haley.
Why would he not pick?
Vivek Ramaswamy is there's you can watch videos, you can look them up. Vivek Ramaswamy is basically saying all the same stuff that Barack Obama said when he uh, became a candidate for president, right? Like almost verbatim, almost verbatim. Like what's
Well,
some
that one they got
what?
that one thing on him. Other than that, he's nothing like Barack Obama. Nothing like him
No,
whatsoever.
no, but he's basically plagiarizing what Barack Obama did to become the president of the United States, become the Democrat Party's nomination, right? So,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of things that he says that are good, but it's like you have no idea where he's coming from. He says, "Oh, I believe in religious freedom, and I'm a Hindu." It's like, okay, so Hindus don't believe in Christianity, and our nation's founded on Christianity. So, oh, I believe that our nation was founded on Christianity, but I'm a Hindu. So what does that mean? It may mean absolutely nothing. I don't know it means anything. But I just find like, okay, so
So
that's something to be thinking about,
so do Christians believe there's Hinduism?
What do you mean?
You just said Hindus don't believe in Christianity. Do Christians believe in Hinduism?
They No, so Hindus don't believe that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. He's the only way for a man to get to heaven. Christianity
I
basically
understand
says that Jesus is the Son of God and God incarnate, and he was
I
crucified
understand.
on the cross, buried in a tomb, and 3 days later was resurrected from the dead, right? And he is God, right? That's what Christians believe, right? They don't believe
Right.
that. They don't believe that that's the way it is. Do Christians believe in
Okay.
Hinduism? We believe that there are people that
No.
believe in Hinduism, but we don't believe that that's a religion. It's a valid religion. Absolutely not. No. So
So what I'm saying is, it's either way you go, it's the same but opposite. Okay, and it depends on what you think, what you believe. And
well,
me
yeah, but
personally, I
again,
believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that has very little to do with the presidency. I think the president can't be the devil, obviously, but he
what
doesn't
what was
have to be
that?
he doesn't
Ohio, where
have to
they
be a
had
Christian.
the was it Ohio where they had the satanic statue outside the governmental offices? That was Ohio,
They
wasn't it?
had one in Enwell, New York, somewhere, or out in Green, New York, or something. They had like devil worship classes out there in the school. Remember, we talked about it before, and we said, well,
Oh yeah,
they have the
yeah,
right to do that. We can't tell them
yeah.
no. I don't
A-
agree with it. And if I was
as
a
long
parent,
as
my kid was going to that, I'd rake him over the coals. I'd be dragging his
Yeah, I
ass
mean,
right, her ass
as
right out.
long as you have religious freedoms, then you have to allow that to occur. But the fact that you have a
Right.
satanic idol set outside of your government offices, you can't put a crucifix out there. You can't put the empty tomb out there. You can't put the the manger scene out there. But you're going to allow
The-
them to put a satanic idol out there? It's like
well,
no,
and see that's the way these leftists work. Okay, they don't want to hurt the feelings of the far left. They don't care if they hurt the feelings of the right, but they don't
right?
want to hurt the feelings of. And the far left, we all know the far left are little whiny ass pussies anyway. Oh, you hurt my feelings. You called me a boy when I'm really a girl. Oh, and
Right.
but
I started a
yeah,
conversation like that with another customer today, and I realized that she is on the other side of the spectrum, so I better shut up and move on. Oh,
good. Well,
just
good news is you don't need her as a repeat customer because you're going up the roads.
pretty much, yeah. So, but it was
There you go.
interesting
Yeah.
because I'm not even sure how we started on it. We were talking about movies or something, and I was trying to get to the point of how Disney is going down the whole DEI, the diversity, equity, and
Oh my gosh,
inclusion road,
they're
and
driving me crazy with what they're doing.
well, they're actually talking about redoing some of their popular old movies, like Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and
Yeah.
the what's the snow one? Man, right at the tip of my tongue.
Snow
The
White.
no, the one where they I can't think of the one where the two sisters, one of them has the ability to turn things to ice, and Frozen. So the Frozen movie they're
Oh,
thinking about
Frozen. Yeah, Frozen.
they're thinking about redoing these. Yeah, thank you. My wonderful wife Kathy brought it in there. Thank you, Kathy. But they're thinking about redoing these movies to have a more DEI perspective. It's like, so these movies have already
Well,
been successful and they didn't have any DEI in it. So now they're going to
they're going to ruin
redo
them.
the movies. Yeah, they're going to redo. They're going to ruin them, right?
And-
So I was trying to get to
and
this
here-
point
here's what-
about the whole DEI, and
Right.
then I made a comment about, it's like, well, if you want to be gay, then be gay. I don't care. And she's like, well, probably do. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not going to tell you can't be gay, but neither am I going to tell you that neither can you tell me that I have to agree with you. I don't have to agree with you on that. And I could tell instantly. And then I brought up the whole Bruce Jenner. I said, look, I know Bruce Jenner because when I was a kid, I saw him on the Wheaties box with 5 gold medals, right? We ate Wheaties. He was on the front cover of the Wheaties box. That's how I will always know Bruce Jenner. If I see Bruce Jenner, I'll probably call him Bruce, right? Because I don't know what his name is and I wouldn't remember it, I'm sure. And he might be offended, but it's like, you know what? You're a guy. You won 5 gold medals as a man, right? So I don't care what
Actually,
you think.
I think Bruce Jenner is going to be less offended than most trans people. That's what I think about it.
Right.
He'd be less
But the
offended
the
than
point
most
I was
people
trying
call
to
him Bruce. Yeah.
yeah, the point I was trying to make is like, I don't care what you do, but don't expect me to agree with it, or don't expect me to say, well, you have to now call me a woman. No, not going to happen, right? So I'm not going to be
No, I
rude
don't
to you,
have
but I'm
to.
not going
This is
to
America.
call you a woman,
Right.
So
I'm not going around pointing at you. You're a man. You're a man. You're a man. I'm not going to do that. But here's what I say about the movie.
Can I do it? Can I do it? Go ahead.
Here's what I say about the movie. I have no problem when there were gay people in movies or whatever. Robin Williams made a movie about cross-dressing men. I can't remember.
Yeah.
The Birdcage, I think it was. Yeah. And I liked the movie. Okay, it was great. But now they're doing it just to do it. Not
Right.
because it has anything to do with what's going on. They're just throwing it in there because, well, we want to make sure we have a gay or trans or something in there. Otherwise, we can't get an Academy Award. And, and it's stupid now. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how they're doing it. You can tell that's what they're doing, and it ruins the movie.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Hey,
Anyway,
so we've gone over 2 minutes. We want to appreciate you guys for coming and watching today. We thank God for all of our military personnel. God bless our military personnel. God bless our police officers and our firefighters and first responders and every other medical person that comes out to save us when we need it. So God bless you all, and God bless America and anywhere but China.
Love y'all. Thanks for coming in. Everything Jeff said, we love all everybody. We appreciate everyone that came on tonight. We had a pretty good show. A lot of people there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for
God
this.
bless you all.
One more time. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.